Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Garage Golf Simulator here. This is Turbo Talon Golf. Just got back from the golf course. Playing to about a 14 handicap, so shooting regularly in the 80s, which is nice. But I realize it's been like 2 weeks since I did a live stream. I've still been practicing in the simulator, but I haven't been live streaming because I don't particularly like the simulator because of its lack of accuracy, and live streaming is live streaming. But let's play some stuff here. It looks like we've got D-Lud's League. It's called Dismal River White. The word dismal is not good. Dismal River White course. So I'm kind of scared here. 6,400 yard tees, 6-foot gimmies, hard fairways, normal greens. 12 stimp. He's got the stimp ratcheted up to fucking diarrhea levels. Wind breezy. Let's get some reps in here. It's really not about the golf. It's about these Nutella biscuit cookie things. If you haven't tried them and you're not allergic to them or you don't like Nutella, you're fucking missing out. All right, so it looks like we're in the middle of like Nebraska or something here. Great big landing area. And we got a little bit of altitude, so driver's been fine outside. It's not really that great in here. I don't know what it is, but Joe Legowski did a review with the basically comparing the Quad Max 4, GC Quad Max 4, GT Quad, oh Jesus Christ. The Foresight GC Quad Max to the ProTee VX launch monitor, which is the one I use. And he said, the ProTee is a good launch monitor, but it's not 100% accurate. And I tend to agree with that, but it's still a good launch monitor and it shows me a lot of data, so I'm going to go ahead and get over it. And as usual, if you don't like cussing or adult topics, you can see the little advisory down there at the bottom left of the GS Pro screen. You may want to leave now. Good shot. That's what my drives look like outside, so it's good to see that it worked here. And also we'll look at some TikToks and all that shit too. So we need to go about 100 yards. We've got a little bit of a crosswind. Pitching wedge is usually my 100-yard give or take club. So we'll see if we can't get up there. It's going to be maybe a little short. I lied. It's a good shot. Probably a tough putt here, though. Downhill, breaking left. Just give it some room to break. Probably hit this about 9 feet. Okay, 12 stimp with a couple of exclamation marks means that we're really going to need to watch. We're really going to need to watch the putting here. Hey Mick, how are you? How are you, sir? I'm playing D-Lud's League here. Hope everything's going well with you. Just got home from the golf course, so that's why I'm all dressed up. And I know I haven't streamed in a while. Sometimes I just don't feel like streaming, you know? Let's aim to the left side of the fairway because that wind is going to do something to the shot. And we've been playing in a lot of wind lately that I'm not used to, so I am seeing that where I used to really think the wind didn't have a lot of an effect on the ball unless it was blowing really hard. It actually has a lot of effect on the ball even if it's blowing a little bit. Hard fairways, so I'm guessing this isn't going to end up anywhere good. Hard fairways, when you're playing a course that has a lot of undulation like this, can just wreak havoc on your golf game. 122. So Mick says he's in an airplane right now, which is pretty sweet. You must have paid for the Wi-Fi, or they gave it to you for free. Dude, I just been working and golfing, mostly outside. I've been getting some reps in here too, but I just haven't felt like streaming lately, man. It's good to see you though. I'm gonna hit a 9-iron here, maybe against my best judgment. Nope, that worked out just fine. All right, another downhill breaker to the left. We know we're on 12 stimp greens now, so we got to give this some room to do its job. 7-footer on really fast greens though. There's a little birdie. A little fucking birdie. We'll look at some TikToks. I found some good ones while I was taking a shit earlier. 111 to the pin. Probably ought to hit about a 9-iron here. And I can quit putting golf balls in my pocket because it's not cold anymore. Mick says he's got free Wi-Fi on the plane. That's good shit. And he used the golf sim last week for the first time, felt pretty good. Mick, do you happen to remember what launch monitor they had at that golf sim? I always like to ask that question. It's interesting to me. Okay, 9-iron here. Hopefully the wind bends that over. Oh, it didn't even need to. It was too far. Bends it over like your old high school girlfriend. That one never gets old. All right, let's do a little bump and run. Depending on where the ball lands, really anything could happen here. That might go in the hole, actually. That was a really good shot. Saved us. Saved our asses. Saved our asses. All right, guys. In true Turbo Talon golf fashion, let's look at some TikToks. Well, they're screen captures of TikToks. They're not actually TikToks. They are from TikTok, though. We should be broadcasting here. Let's find out where all my shit is. Let's go clear back to the end of the queue and work our way. Nah, that'll take too long. I don't want to do that. Okay, this is Victoria. She's got spaces between each of the characters in her handle here. Seems like a lovely young lady. Clearly some filter being applied here by her phone or whatever. So she's chapping on men, it looks like. She says, men, I hate drama. Also men, I love triangles. I love triangles, secret kids, a wife, 3 side chicks, an ex who still texts, and unresolved trauma. Sir, you are the drama, she says. Here's my opinion on this, because I know you guys are all frothing at the mouth to hear it. If there weren't women that were willing to be a part of love triangles and have secret kids and be side chicks, and an ex who knows that the dude is married and still texts him, this couldn't happen. And I'm not saying that men should rely on women to not cheat on their spouses and their girlfriends, but you can't just say that it's all the man's fault when every single thing you've pointed out involves a woman. Okay? Most men are too stupid to hide the fact that they're in a relationship. So these women in these love triangles with these secret kids and a wife and 3 side chicks and an ex, they all know this dude's involved with another woman already, and they continue to fuck around with him. So I'm not buying this for a second. I will say it does take 2 to tango, okay? There are some shitty men in the world and there are some shitty women in the world. I'm not saying there's more of one than the other. But again, and I've preached this on many, many occasions, you can't just stereotype and generalize. In my 45 years on this planet, I have arguably seen women cause way more drama than men typically do. But notice that I'm not going to say it's all women or all men, because I am not stupid enough to generalize that way. All right, so there was a TikTok for you. If I would have captured more of them, we'd have watched more of them. But we got a 506-yard par 5 here. We got a bit of a tailwind. We are at 3,500 feet above sea level. And we're downhill probably 3 yards. So we'll see what happens here with driver. It's been really good to me on the golf course. It's been a long time coming, but it's actually been good to me for more than like a couple of rounds at a time. So we might be on to something, but it's too early to tell. Little leaker there, felt kind of shitty. We'll see how far it goes. Remember, we're playing hard fairways, so this thing's gonna go and go and go and go and go. Mick says he's not sure what launch monitor the Semi was using. Do you happen to remember if it was on the ground or on the ceiling? Because that will still tell me a lot of stuff. Guys, it looks like we've got a $172 to the pin. Since I switched to these higher lofted irons, I've been using a little cheater when I'm on the golf course. Little cheater card here with all my distances and carries and shit on it. Just laminated it with some packing tape. So I know if I need to go 173, I either need to plan on the ball stopping or I just need to hit a 6-iron here. So there we go. There's my little cheater maneuver. So we need to hit a 6-iron somewhere in the realm of a 6-iron, but we are playing with a tailwind and some other factors here. So we're going to aim to the right side of the green and hope for the best. The beryllium copper ping I2s were pretty good to me today. Pretty good to me yesterday. That felt thin. We got hard fairways though, so we'll see where it ends up. And remember, this is a par 5, so we'll see what happens. 22 yards. Okay guys, this is a tricky shot. This ball is gonna wanna ricochet to the right. So what do you do here? You use your best judgment. Hope you can put some backspin on the ball, and that's about all you can do. Good luck. 22 yards. We obviously don't want to go 22 yards. That was a better shot than I thought we'd have. Unfortunately, it hit the fairway before it hit the green. So now we're putting for birdie. But you're not going to make this putt. You might make a 26-foot putt with this kind of break, maybe once in 20 tries, and it's probably going to be your 20th try because the other 19 showed you where you needed to go and how fast you needed to hit. Oh no, I fucked myself. Guys, I keep forgetting we're on 12 stimp. So now we're going to play the yip game and rack up a couple more strokes here. I'm just going to putt. That's another thing I strongly dislike about the simulator, amongst many, many things, is that you bounce around from different stimps and all kinds of stuff like that. And you've got to kind of keep it in your mental memory bank, and that gets annoying. So we are in the gimme circle. Wasn't a bad putt, but instead of a par, we've got a bogey here, which I think just canceled our birdie, which sucks balls. We've got about a 150-yard shot here with a pretty crisp crosswind. Okay, Mick, it's an embedded ceiling mounted. Okay. That's good. The company's called X Golf Australia. Okay, I think we might be able to go to their website and see what launch monitor they use, but it's not, I wouldn't say terribly important. This is a tricky pin position. If you don't hit the ball far enough or you hit it too far right, you're basically going to roll down into that valley, and you're probably not going to have a very good time. So let's hit a 7-iron, and hopefully that wind brings us back over to the green, even though I really don't want to risk going too far to the right. Okay, we're too far to the right, so we're either in the bushes or we're going to roll back down into the fairway. It's not even fairway. 27 up. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Tricky shot here. All right, we hit fairway before we hit green. So basically what we're going to do is play the fucking bounce from the right side to the left side to the right side to the left side of the green game. No offense, D-Lud, but you've been picking some pretty shitty courses lately, brother. But I get it. I get it. It's hard to stand out in a field full of other sim tubers. I get it. That'd be nice if that just rolled into the circle. So we're probably, man, it's still going. We're probably looking at getting our asses kicked pretty good on the greens. What do we got here? It's playing 13 feet, but it's 12 stimp, which, if you recall, had 2 exclamations next to it, meaning the video game recommended that you did not use that stimp. So there's a double. I think we had a single before that. So the score's starting to bloat up here a little bit. Marky Durs, -9. Guys, just because you're good in the simulator does not mean you're good in real life. Trust me. I think we're back. Thanks for letting me know, dude. That mic was acting funny. I had a sneaking suspicion the battery wasn't fully charged on it. So these mics are funny. They're like Sarmonic or some shit. I got them at Best Buy. They're good mics, but I have to, every time my computer reboots, I have to go in and tell the dongle that's connected to my computer to record in stereo and not mono. Because the first few times I used them for videos, I noticed that the sound was only coming out of the left or the right channel. And you know me, I'm a fucking cynic. I was like, why wouldn't that functionality be built in? Why wouldn't I have to go in and tell it to use mono instead of stereo? Like, why do I gotta go in and tell it to use stereo instead of mono? Makes no sense. And if some of you guys are like, what the hell's mono? It's not the kissing disease. It is actually when you're only using the left or the right channel, single channel. Okay, that's leaky, but it's a good thing this time. I wouldn't say my drives do that in real life, but you guys have heard me say that 10,000 times by now. 170 uphill with a bit of a headwind is going to probably be a 4 or a 5 iron. Let's try the 5 iron. And eventually I'll get these distances memorized, but I just haven't done it yet. There we go. Sorry about the microphone dying. So let's try the 5 iron. I topped it or something. Oh, that was so shitty. Guys, when you're gonna hit the golf ball, you gotta probably be looking at it. So now we got 81 up 6. Let's hit an easy wedge. It is so crazy to me that I rarely ever do shit like that outside, but for some reason in here, I don't know what it is. I honestly don't know what it is. And once that doubt starts to set in the simulator, like after you hit a shank outside and the doubt starts to sink in, things do start to get a little more difficult, because then you're also fighting your subconscious. But we should be fine. I've kind of learned to ignore it. Putt for bogey, so we're going to take another double. Well, it's wanting to go in the hole. That literally rolled over the edge of the fucking hole. I keep seeing people say that GS Pro is, well, if you say it's the best software, it is the best software we have, but it's not the best we can do. We can do a lot better. God damn it. $220 something. Let's hit a 1 iron. Maybe we're not in trouble. Mick says, did I use a sim before I bought one, or go balls deep and buy a random one after reviewing them? I started out in a simulator down here, Syracuse, Utah, because that's where my swing coach worked out of. And I said this is a valuable tool, but I'm not paying $200 a month. Plus I'd spend half an hour driving over there, then half an hour driving back to my house. So I effectively was driving 1 hour to get 1 hour worth of swing time in. But there toward the end, I was booking I would book a 2-hour slot, so at least I got 2 hours for the 1 hour drive. But I did see the usefulness in it, and then much like a lot of these other SimTube guys, Joe Legowski, Hosel Rocket Golf, those guys, I started out with a Garmin R10. That's gone, which is a good launch monitor, but I would say by current year standards, it's kind of just more for fun and not very accurate compared to something that's basically in the same price range, such as a Square Golf or a Rapsodo. So, yeah, that's how the progression started. It's just fucking crazy to me how shitty some of the shots in the simulator are. I don't know. I think I got a bit of a love-hate relationship with the GSPro software, and I really like this ProTee VX launch monitor, but sometimes I can tell that something's not right about it. And Joe Legowski, the more testing he does with the GC Quad, because he only did the one test for swing data or club data. Oh, that is such bullshit. As soon as he does, I'm excited to see what happens when he does a head-to-head test with ball data, like spin rates and stuff, ball speed coming off the club, just shit like that. Oh, we're actually due for a TikTok. Let's see what old TikTok's got in store for us. This person's name is Mariah. There's Mariah right there. Say hello to Mariah. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so let's see. When I explain that the standard for women is to be fully shaved in every area is just rooted in men wanting women to resemble children as much as possible, and that body hair being gross is just a lie they fed to women so they can keep them brainwashed. I guess my first question would be, who the fuck are you explaining this to? Like someone else in your echo chamber? Who are you explaining this to? Like when I go to work tomorrow, we're not going to talk about how wanting a woman to shave her armpits and her undercarriage is so they remind us of children. Like, my wife shaves her armpits because her mom taught her to when she was a teenager. And any other shaving she does is partly for her and partly for me. But it's never so that she resembles a child. This is so weird to me, and I would love to know where it came from because I see a lot of TikToks that say it. I wouldn't say this is true for every man because there's probably some fucking subset of sickos who do want a woman to be fully shorn so that she resembles a child. But I don't understand who she's explaining this to, why she's talking about it so much. And it's just not true, I would say, for the majority of men. I don't understand why you would say something that fucking grotesque. But she's got 559 likes on it and 17 comments. I'm sure it's 50-50, somebody saying she's fucking stupid and somebody agreeing with her. But I'll tell you right now, that is never what's crossing my mind when my wife is fully shorn, okay? I'll tell you right now, that has nothing to do with it. It's just crazy to me the shit people talk about. That was a pop fly. Hopefully we got a couple of 100 yards out of it, but we still got a pretty long way to go. 320 yards, so we couldn't have gone too far. Oh no, this is just a hellaciously long golf hole. So we still got audio here. Mick, hopefully I answered your question. Guys, I don't have any fairway woods or hybrids in the lineup right now, so it's going to be irons. 1 iron off the fairway here. Obviously not the most fun shot you can take, but I'll do my best. That's going to run for a long time. Let's fast forward it till it goes off the fairway, which it will inevitably do. There you go. So that went quite a long ways for a 1 iron. 78 yards into a 10-mile-an-hour headwind is telling me pitching wedge. That's what my gut's telling me. Listen to your gut. As you are either wrong or right, your gut instinct will start to change, obviously. That's probably a little bit saucy. Hopefully it'll roll back. There we go. Let's fast forward here. Ain't nobody got time for this shit. There we go. I wish that option could be toggled on and off. Like after the ball hits the ground or halfway through its flight, just start to fast forward, because I think that would help a lot of people who stream. Because who wants to watch a fucking golf ball roll, you know what I'm saying, unless it's rolling toward the pin and it's some kind of hero shot. Like, I don't want to watch that. You don't want to watch that. Nobody wants to watch that shit. You guys, I'd say that's about as good as you're going to get on these fucking shitty fast 12 stimp grains. Mick says people talk about the most random shit just to get a like. That is true. And if you guys spend much time on social media, you'll notice that there are different people that have almost the same identical caption. Like, that's not the first time I've seen a TikTok where some chick was talking about dudes wanting women to be shorn because it reminds them of basically doing you know what with a child. And I'm just like, that's not true at all. That's not true at all. Sure, there's some fucking sicko that's how their brain works, but it's not how it works for me. All right, guys, 165 with a 6-mile-an-hour headwind is looking like a 6 iron. So let's see how that goes. Just people wanting attention. People wanting attention. I mean, you could argue that I'm doing the same thing by live streaming, but I actually don't have no but. That's a good shot, but it's trickling right. You can't complain about that shot, guys. You're probably not going to make birdie, but very, very good shot. It's nice to be on the green in 1 on a par 3. We're down. We only need to hit this ball like 15 feet of feel, and it's going to break like hell to the left. It started trickling back toward the hole. Gotta love that. There's your little par. What are we doing here? 5 over. 5 over. 385. I don't hit 385, but I wouldn't mind having like a free throw here. So let's just hit driver. Let's hit driver right down the pipe and see if we can get close enough to be within like pitching wedge distance. If there's a certain shot you guys are out on the course and you don't feel comfortable with, you should probably try to do things to not hit that from that distance. Practice that distance in the simulator or on the range, but if you've got a free throw distance where you're just super comfortable with that club, try to get to within that distance as often as you can. It's not cheating. It's not gaming the system. It's strategy. You know? Like, I'm pretty comfortable at this distance. We've got some wind and some slope and some other shit going on, but we should be able to get it near the green or on the green, right? And that's if I don't miss-hit the ball. Which I did. That was toey. But it still ended up being a good shot. It was almost pin high. Your toey ass shot, it is what it is. I don't like them any more than you do, but professionals play off the center of the club face. The rest of us just play off the heel and the toe and high and low and all of that other shit, right? I wouldn't say that was a great read. Feels like I pushed it a little bit. Okay, we probably can't get up there, but I think we can get over here somewhere. We got some wind blowing. We already naturally kind of play a fadey slice. There's your little fadey slice. We might be okay, but we're playing hard fairways, so it looks like our next shot's going to be out of the rough. Yep. Hole 12. Who's blowing up my phone here? Uh, 225 over a hill. I think we have kind of left ourselves up shit creek here, so let's try to get within free throw distance, which is a $170. Isn't that our 6 or 7 iron? Yeah, 6 iron. Here it is. Then the ball's going to do whatever it does. It's going to want to jettison to the left. Another physic I don't care for in this simulation software. Uh-oh. Okay, that must be the lumpiest area on the golf course, because that thing was bouncing all over the place. So this would normally be a pitching wedge, but I think we got to take a little bit more because we're hitting out of the rough. Ball's going to want to go right out of the lie. It's going to want to go right because of the wind. Let's take a 9 iron. That was slappy as hell. We're probably going to be... Holy shit, that worked. Got some lucky bounces, some lucky rolls. $10-footer for birdie. We're putting. No such luck. They say you've got to play more break on a faster grain, but I mean, how do you even build a golf simulation out of just the physics that are available in a video game engine? I'm guessing it works to some great extent. How do you even do that? See you, Mick. Looks like Mick's going to be out of commission for a couple of weeks. Underground 800 meters most days. Guys, that is... being that far underground is arguably as scary as being that far up in the air. So, we salute you, Mick. I don't know if you're still listening, but thanks for what you do, brother. Thanks for what you do. You're obviously going to be away from your family for long periods of time. Stuff that none of us want to do, but I appreciate you. All right, there's a little lefty. Hard fairway, we might be all right. Nope. We jumped it like a skateboard ramp, and now we're in the deep rough, so we've got to make some calculations. We've got to go 98 yards. We need to give about 125 yards into a headwind. Let's go 130, 140. So we might be okay with an 8-iron. Let's see what happens with the 8-iron. We might have been able to get away with a 9-iron. Again, we're rolling. I guess I'm thankful for the hard fairways. And we're still on, even though that wasn't a great drive. Here we are, we're on. 31 feet, fast green. You know the drill. All right, stop. Please stop. Looks like we've lost connection again. Let's reconnect with this software that I guess is fine. It's called Lonely Screen. It's for mirroring. What is the next TikTok we've got? How much dumber are we going to get? Oh, here we fucking go again. This is not sex appeal, but hex appeal. And here she is, hoop earrings, obligatory nose hoop, too big, it's too big, you need a smaller nose hoop, that's not cute, it's actually so stupid, I don't like it. And she's got a few tattoos, butterfly tattoos, I'm sure they mean something to her. And she's saying, as a woman, the more critical you are of men in the patriarchy, the better quality men you will have around you. I will not be explaining further. You guys, it doesn't matter if you're a man, woman, fucking koala bear, crocodile, alligator, fucking tarantula. If you're getting criticized by someone, you're probably not going to want to be around or continue to talk to that someone. So this lady's saying that the more critical women are of men in the patriarchy, the better quality men that she'll have around her is not necessarily true. I would say that she's got a better chance of no one wanting to be around her if I was a betting man. But there you go. There's your 14th hole TikTok. More fucking random shit about men and the patriarchy that we love so much. And no one's saying it. So it's good that people are talking about it, because nobody else is talking about it, you know. There's not a single other person on the planet that's talking about the patriarchy and all of that bullshit, right? It's really a topic that's been undiscussed thus far, and we probably ought to talk about it ad nauseum, at length. You know? Let's fast forward this bitch. Doo-doo-doo. All right, not bad, not bad. 311 in the fairway. Be hard pressed to fucking complain about that. Hey PVC, what's up, buddy? You haven't really missed anything. I'm playing D-Lud's League. It's at Dismal River White Course, which immediately makes me think that it's not going to be a good round, right? Dismal River. And it's got hard fairways, a lot of elevation changes, undulating greens. And D-Lud has chosen 12 stimp for the greens today. So it's been a bit of a challenge. I'm up 5 after 13 and a half holes, 14 and a half holes, but that's it, my friend. What are you up to? How's Flowrida treating you? Me and my buddy Mike looked up just some random place in Central Florida, right? We just like threw a dart at a dartboard, figuratively, not literally. And we saw that there were so many golf courses in Florida. It's not that I don't believe you guys when you say it. I've never golfed in Florida. I've been there a few times. It's not that I don't believe you when you say it, but I didn't know how many fucking golf courses there were per capita in Florida. I'm thinking an 8-iron here. Gonna be fighting some wind, and obviously if I mishit this, we're gonna be in one of maybe the nastiest bunkers I've seen in quite a long time. So let's just not mishit it. I just got back from the golf course, so that's why I'm dressed like this. All right, that was a pretty good strike. You can see we're wandering left. Should be on the green, or at least on the edge. And then obviously if you've got a 23-yard putt, you're basically in another area code. Downhill leaker. We couldn't really be in a worse place than we are here, folks. So what we're gonna do is just give it the old college try. We're downhill, 12 stimp. Nothing good is gonna happen here. I can guarantee that. We're gonna play this way to the right. So we're basically going down 24 feet over 70, so I don't know. Maybe we need to hit about 40-ish feet and hope that that ball feeds over to the gimme circle. God forbid you didn't have a gimme circle here. God forbid you didn't have a gimme circle. You would be, I think you'd be beyond fucked. Okay, we got real lucky there, folks. Another par. PVC says he just got back from vacation. The fam and I went to Cocoa Beach. Played a fun course on the water. I spent one night on Cocoa Beach with one of my buddies I was visiting down there. There was a lot of alcohol and a lot of scantily clad women. Let me just put it that way. and a very expensive Uber ride home. But I'm glad you guys have fun, brother. What course did you play? 158 downhill with some wind. What's our 158 club? What are we going to get? About 158. Let's go 7 iron. I'm going to lose my notebook here. Oh, don't go right, go left. Okay, good bounce. So I can say one thing, the greens are fast, but they're also, minus a couple of them, they've been pretty receptive, right? You've got your greens that are in a bowl that are pretty receptive, or they slant from back to front, so they're more receptive, they're like a backstop. Then you've got your greens that are not receptive at all. They're kind of crowned. They're on like a turtle shell, and they don't want to hold a golf ball. And then for some reason, no matter what type of green you have, if you've got the firmness or the stimp up too high, it's just miserable no matter what you do. Like 13 feet of feel here. Oh boy, look at that. We'll take that. You ain't making that putt on the golf course, folks. You ain't doing it. I got to get some more water. I didn't drink all the water I needed to drink while I was golfing, so I'm probably going to get a huge fucking dehydration headache. But we got some more water here somewhere. Or do we? Where the hell did it go? I love how golf bags have 7,000 fucking pockets. All right, there's our water. So I got through about two of 3 of these things I was supposed to drink. And it's summer again, so you can bet that if you're wearing any sunblock and break a sweat, your hat's going to get that shitty sweat ring on it, which is sort of easy to see on a gray hat, but way easier to see on like a black hat. And I would never wear a white hat because it won't be white for very long unless you change hats all the time. Cocoa Beach. No, PVC is asking if I puked. I'm assuming he's talking about from alcohol consumption. I don't think I puked that night. I don't think I felt very good the next morning. Assuming that's what you're talking about, which I hope it is, because I just revealed some information about how big of a fucking lush I used to be. What are we doing here? 245. Let's just hit driver. Oh, yeah, the Uber ride, dude, was... I think me and my buddy split the Uber, but... yeah, I'll leave it at that. Oh, are you saying it was expensive because I puked in his car? No, I didn't puke in his car. It was just... we needed the Uber. The Uber was a long way. It was quite a long drive. It was like 40 minutes in each direction or something. So yeah, that's what I meant. I didn't puke in his car. It's all coming to me now, buddy. I promise I'm not mentally handicapped, even though most of the shit I do suggests that I am. Let's hit a sand wedge here. Should be close. We overshot it. Whatever. Green's a green. Green's a green. Yeah, I would have puked out that dude's window. I would never puke in somebody's car, ever. Like, dude, put your head out the window. Don't dare puke in this car. Because it never comes out. You can wash it out and you can go get it professionally cleaned or whatever, but puke's never coming out. Not fully. There will always be some shit, some puke or some shit in that car. Decent read. Puking in the car. Guys, don't puke in people's cars. Just poke your head out the window. Or if you think you got some time to spare, just tell them to pull over. Because the second you tell somebody you're going to puke in their car, they're very interested in rolling down the window or pulling over. Like it's the #1 thing on their list of shit to do. Never in the history of fucking cars has anyone said, hey dude, I'm going to puke, and the person operating the vehicle didn't do something. They didn't react in some way. Like give you a barf bag or pull over or something. Never in the history of automobiles. We're probably up shit creek here because, nope, we didn't cross the threshold. I think we're in regular rough. Pretty good drives, but we're at like 3,500 feet above sea level or something. So we're downhill and have a tailwind. We got to play this smart. It's going to play 159, and then so many percent of that 6 mile an hour wind is going to affect the ball too. So we might be able to get away with an 8 iron. Let's see what happens. We'll aim over there with an 8 iron. It's kind of doing what I thought it would do. Oh, it was so short. What a lucky shot that was. Guys, an 8 iron should have got there. I don't know if I fucked the shot up or something. It should have been a little better shot than that. But the fact of the matter is we got lucky as hell, so I ain't going to look a gift horse in the mouth. Let's aim like right there. And we're not using a wedge. We're going to putt. 26 feet, playing 28 feet. You guys, this software is so weird to me. If you putt through 2 inches of fairway, it slows your ball down like you putted through fucking shag carpet, which is not how it works on the real golf course. If you've got to go through 2 inches of fairway, it usually just feels like a normal putt. And this is coming from a dude who plays a lot of golf outside. You are not going to get penalized like that for putting through 2 inches of fairway. I don't care who the hell you are. Okay, that didn't feel very good. I don't know where that's headed. Deep rough, it looks like. You guys, deep rough, you don't want to be in this shit if you can help it. Just stay the fuck out of it. Because we got to go 185. Luckily, it's a par 5, so we'll probably just lay up. But I want to be about 100 yards out from the pin here. Let's hit like an 8 iron because it's going to take so much power away from us. And so that I'm kind of like a pitching wedge out from the pin. We are not a pitching wedge out from the pin. We are now a sand wedge out from the pin. Because apparently I'm not good at judging distance or something. I don't know what happened. We should have lost 25% power, speed out of that lie. And I guess we did, because 140 carry raw and 108 carry in the video game kind of add up. I'm not good at public math, but we got 68 yards here. Can't ask for a better shot than that. This club is quite dirty, so I'm guessing that's transferring to my fucking impact screen. Let's see if we can lose another stroke here. I don't know how to play this. It's 12 stimp. All right, that was almost right in the heart there. +3 on a D-LED event is pretty damn good for a guy like me, so I'm not gonna look that gift horse in the mouth. There's your stats. 31 putts is okay. Ideally, you would want to be at 18 putts or 27 putts, but 31's fine. Let's play one more round and then we'll call it a day, because I already golfed a hole 18 outside today and yesterday, and I am fucking tired. Triple bogey live. That's about all we're gonna get here, because it's Sunday and I'm not gonna be able to play all this shit. 5,800 yards, normal, stimp, blah, 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 blah. 6,200 feet of elevation, so maybe we'll see some long drives here. PVC says, nice round. I appreciate it, dude, but sim golf is not in any way, shape, or form like real golf. I shoot in real life on like a 6,500 yard course. I shoot in the 80s. It's usually bogeys and pars. I rarely get birdies out on the real course. Just a level set with you, dude. But I appreciate the kind words, always. What do we got here? Plum Creek Golf Club. We got a 300 yards to the pin. I would like to leave myself like a pitching wedge out or whatever. 210. Let's just blast driver up in that general direction and fucking deal with the fallout. Probably not the smartest move on a real golf course, but I don't fucking care. Let's do a TikTok or two here. I'm sorry. I'm letting you guys down. I really am. Okay. Oh, goodness. What's this young gal got to say? Full screen, please. Guys, this is Lauren Martin. There you go if you want to look her up. She's wearing like a leather skirt and a skimpy top, but that's fine. I don't care. So she seems to be not bashing men. She says, if he won't, then another man will. And then she says, maybe if you act right, then he will. Maybe if you respect him, then he will. Maybe if you bring him peace, then he will. Maybe if you submit to him, then he will. Maybe if you make him a sandwich, then he will. I could use a sandwich right now. Maybe if you stop blaming the kind of man he is and love him for who he is, then he will. Ladies, take accountability. So there's a few spelling and grammar issues here, and it's a wall of text, but it's kind of refreshing to have a female in my feed who's not man bashing. So thank you, Lauren Martin. She's got 38 likes and 3 comments on here, and I'm guessing the 3 comments are either dudes saying amen, praise Lauren, or chicks saying that she's stupid and she supports the patriarchy and all of that fucking nonsense. That's, if I was a betting man, what those comments probably say. There you go. Let's hit driver. Let's hit driver. And it just goes where it goes. Guys, remember, we're at 6,500 yards of elevation here. Excuse me, feet, which is quite a lot. The ball will go much further than it normally would. Not when you hit a fucking toe hook, but nonetheless. Let's fast forward this. Nobody's got time for this shit. There we go. That was fucking weird. Apparently the space bar makes this Lonely Screen app record. So who the fuck knows what I just recorded? Who knows what I just recorded? Anyway, 240 into the fairway, not that far for being at 6,000 feet of elevation, but let's test my theory here. I think we can get there with a sand wedge because we are at said elevation, but let's find out what happens. 76 with a tailwind downhill at elevation. I think we should be close, but let's find out. It's probably going to be too far. Sit, you son of a bitch. All right, so this is obviously a very long putt, but we're on in 2, so it doesn't fucking matter. What's up, Bad Lies? PVC says he plays mostly bogey golf. Dude, most golfers can't even achieve bogey golf, right? Most golfers can't break 100. A small percentage of golfers can break 70, a little bit more can break 80, and a little bit more can break 90, okay? Bogey golf is good golf. I play bogey golf, and I am competitive with my friend group. And bogey golf means you can make at least one mistake on every hole, like we're probably about to make here. But when you start talking about playing scratch golf, you are talking about playing, every hole perfectly. Or maybe getting a few bogeys and a few birdies to counter the bogeys. Or whatever I think I just said. So it's not really, I think it's a badge of honor to play bogey golf. Because if you remember when you first started, you were like, man, right, when you're making triples and doubles and quads, you're like, man, if I could just get to where I was playing bogey golf, I would be so happy. And then you get there and you're not happy anymore. You're like, I want to play scratch golf, or I want to be shooting in the low 80s every time. And it's just, I think once you get there, you're still not happy, you know? Okay, my launch monitor did not like something I just did. There we go. Bad Lies says, happy Sunday. Yes, sir. Sundays are good because I got to golf this morning, but Sundays are bad because that means the next day is Monday. Unless, of course, you're independently wealthy and you don't have to work, then you don't care what day of the work week it is, right? But that ain't me. Not yet. Maybe someday. Let's hit a pitching wedge here. I think we should be close to the pin or on the front of the green, or maybe, in the fairway on the front of the green. We'll see. But it's tough at this elevation to know what to hit. Okay, that's headed right. I felt that come off the club. And it is short. So apparently it's green or rough. We got no fairway here. Maybe there's some fairway in the background there, but that might be because the grass isn't rendering. But there you go. Barely not far enough. Very decent shot there. PVC says he's playing tomorrow. That's good, dude. You ain't missing nothing. Sim golf is a fantasy world. It's boring as fuck to watch sim golf content. Like, if there wasn't so much editing involved, I would just record my outdoor rounds. I play about 3 times a week outside. I would record those rounds and just post those videos, but the editing is, there's a stupid amount of editing, let's just put it that way. I hope you go low, dude. Like these guys that are fucking 18 under par on this course. That's how you know sim golf is a load of shit. Is because if you're going 18 under par on a real golf course, the shit's too easy. If a pro goes 18 under par during an 18-hole round of golf, it's like a fucking career round. I don't even know if anybody's done it. But it happens all the time here in the simulator. Not for me, of course, but for some of these other people who have figured out the little nuances of sim golf. I think it's good for repetition, but not really EPing. PVC says the course he's playing tomorrow's got water on 16 out of 18 holes. Well, dude, make sure you take an extra pack of balls and make sure they're fucking Kirkland Signature or something. But if you're playing bogey golf, then you're probably not hitting into a lot of water, so you'll probably be fine. You'll probably be fine, brother. Brother. You don't play bogey golf if you're putting balls in the water, so you should be fine. I'm not quite sure why I aimed left, but that's what happened. Do I have any cookies left here? Probably going to be some weird motherfucker with like a fetish that subscribes to my channel because I was eating during my live stream. That's how weird people are. Mostly men. Get in the hole. So I was at the golf course yesterday and I'm leaving. And there's this dude who's got an electric something or other, an EV. And the license plate says, it says Voltron. And I was like, having a license plate on an electric vehicle that says Voltron, you're about as unique as a fucking blade of grass. Like, everybody has got some fucking stupid vanity plate on their EV that says something about fucking volts or watts or fucking something stupid, but Voltron is one that I've seen quite a few times. And keep in mind that I'm in Utah, so people here are a little bit more fucking retarded than they are in the rest of the country. But like Voltron and shush and shit like that have been used to death. You're not unique. You're not a special snowflake. There's at least 40 other fucking people who have some derivative of Voltron on their license plate. To the point where it gets to where you've got to start using zeros for O's and sevens for L's and this and that and the other. Like, congratulations, you drive a fucking electric vehicle. Like, we can tell it's an electric vehicle because they look stupid, right? They don't have grills because they don't have radiators. And they've always got to look like a fucking space car. That's the same as somebody having a fucking Corvette and the license plate says Corvette on it. Well, no shit, dude. Like, that's an iconic car. Most people know what a Corvette is. Or a Porsche having a license plate that says Porsche. Or there's a dude at work that's got a license plate on his BMW that says BMW. Like, yeah, dude, we can see the fucking blue and white badge. We know it's a BMW. It just fucking drives me crazy. Voltron. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. My car has a battery too. It's just not used to run the fucking thing. You know? Oh shit! You guys, that was just a mental hiccup. Your boy was not paying attention and I didn't even see there was a bunker there, so let's just hit this club again. That was my bad. You got to pay attention in the simulator because your mind doesn't do the calculations in here that it does on the real golf course. I'm not blaming the simulator. That was a mental hiccup on my part, obviously. But you do have to pay attention. Because most of the time you don't know how far it is to the pin when you're on the green, unless you pace it off. But that data is readily available here. That was quite a mental mistake there. There's the bogey there because of the brain fart. PVC says team gas forever. Yeah, there's a lot of misinformation out there, I think, as to how much pollution is caused by vehicles that burn fossil fuel. And I'm not saying they don't do it. But when you're talking about the hole in the ozone layer, okay, because I used to listen to Star Talk, I used to listen to Neil deGrasse Tyson and all those guys talk about it. It's not completely caused by fucking cars burning fossil fuel. And another thing is nobody talks about all the shit that goes on to get the stuff for the batteries for electric vehicles. They don't talk about disposal for the batteries in electric vehicles. They only want to talk about the fact that they're zero emission. They don't want to talk about the coal plant that's feeding the energy to your wall outlet to charge the motherfucker. They don't want to talk about that. And I think for you to be viable and for your facts to be factual, you need to look at all sides of the equation. It can't just be this, well, we have zero emissions, we are better than everybody else. There's got to be, right, there's a middle ground. Nothing is black or white. Same people that are saying fucking men are the problem and you got dudes saying women are the problem. It's like, no, it's a combination of the two. Can't just always say it's one or the other. Anyway, that's my rant. I'm 45 years old now, so I have to have an opinion on everything. You know? That should put us in free throw distance. Little pitching wedge. I did switch back to TP5X Pix golf balls because I was sick of hitting those fucking rocks, those MAXFLI rocks. It felt like you were hitting a rock. That was a hosel. Was that off the hosel or what was that? That was almost a really bad shot. But I think we can get out of this bunker. PVC says the swing looks good. Thanks. I appreciate it. I've worked very hard in the last 2 years on it. Year and a half, however long I've been golfing seriously. I appreciate it, sir. How's your YouTube journey going? I watch as much of your stuff as I can. Let's look at a TikTok here, you guys. I'm bad with the TikTok scheduling. Lonely screen. I think the TikToks are a little more interesting than the golf. It's hard to make sim golf interesting, guys. Anyone who tells you anything different's lying. Okay. So this one's a little bit weird. This one's actually really weird. Let me tell you why. I think this guy's just trying to get clicks. So this is the contributor here. It's this black dude here with the beard. And his name's DJ Motivation. And he's saying something in this TikTok that usually women say. Women deal with periods, pregnancy, menopause. What the fuck do men deal with? I can only guess the 2,235 comments are saying, I deal with this, I deal with that. And it's true, women do deal with these things, and they deal with more shit than this even. But men deal with stuff too, right? Our bodies start to fall apart. When our testosterone drops too low, it makes it so our dicks can't get hard. It makes it so we lose muscle rapidly. My joints hurt, my back hurts, my neck hurts, everything hurts. Obviously, men deal with male pattern baldness, like your boy here. It's not just women, okay? Men have erectile dysfunction, etc., so forth and so on. We start to put weight on right here in our 30s. Like, we deal with shit too. So it's super weird that people say this at all, as if women are the only people that are dealing with shit. And I'd also like to point out that pregnancy is a choice for the most part, but periods and menopause are not a choice. I just don't understand why a dude would post something like this unless he was trying to get clicks and likes and affirmation. It makes zero sense to me why a dude would post that. That's like a woman posting something on TikTok that says men get male pattern baldness and low testosterone and erectile dysfunction. What the fuck do women deal with? And then obviously you get a million comments in the comment section saying women deal with menopause, periods, and etc., so forth and so on, right? Everybody is dealing with something, I promise you. Black people have unique struggles, white people have unique struggles, men, women, like, I don't know why it needs to be so compartmentalized, honestly. A little leaker there. I am so excited for Joe Legowski to do the comparison of the GC Quad Max to the ProTee for ball data, for spin and all of that stuff. I'm very excited. Because I told my wife I needed $20,000 to buy a GC Quad, and she's actually like, yeah, I mean, if you really want one, you can have one, but that's a lot of money. I would miss the on-screen stuff, because the Quad's not going to show that. But you could get cameras to show a lot of it if you really had an elaborate setup. So I don't 100% trust this launch monitor, because I play outside enough to know that some of the stuff that it shows is not accurate. 122. Let's hit a 9-iron here, crisply. I'm sorry, guys. I still got something up here on the screen like a dumbass. PVC says he's inconsistent. Our courses are so busy during the season, it's hard to record. Hopefully I can start doing more soon when most of these people go back up north. Yeah, dude, as a fellow person who records on-course data, on-course video, I found it to be a lot easier because I walk. I have one of those electric walking carts that moves it for you. Buggy or whatever the fuck we're calling them. But I have a mount on my cart, and then I'll just maneuver my cart up behind my ball. And then for stuff on the green, I'll just pull the cart up on the fringe of the green and hit record. But recording on course shit's weird, especially if you're a single and you go out with 3 randos and you're like, hey, do you guys mind if I record? None of them have ever said they minded it. Some of them, that was fat. Some of them have said they just don't want to be in the video for whatever reason. Maybe they weren't supposed to be at the golf course that day, but I've never had anyone say, no, I'm not comfortable with you recording at all. So that was a long-winded way of me saying I feel your plight. It's hard to record on-course stuff. That's like 20 feet from the pin. I don't know if that'd have gone that far in real life, but I feel like I pick on this software so much as it is that it ain't worth it. Or maybe it's the launch monitor, dude. I don't fucking know. Am I in the fucking twilight zone? So I just blew past the pin with a chip shot with a bump and run, and then blew past the pin again. It's 11 stimp, normal green, so I must just be, it must be time for dinner. So there's another bogey. I'm not happy about it, but it is what it is, and that's what we're doing. PVC, for your inconsistency, I am not a swing coach, but it gets easier the more you do it. Which, if you've got a family or a demanding job, that can be, it can be hard to get your repetitions in, you know what I'm saying? And I'm inconsistent too. It's just, I don't know. Get your reps in, dude. I don't know what else to say. If all you can do is go hit a bucket of balls, if all you can do is hit into a net, just make sure that your pre-swing routine and everything are exactly the same every time. And that's increased my consistency. But if you're a bogey golfer, I am also a bogey golfer. I don't know what I can tell you that you don't already know. Plus, I really hate unsolicited golf advice, so there's your unsolicited golf advice, my friend. Oh, PVC says his recording's inconsistent, not his swing. Dude, I'm sorry. I just went on like a 10-minute rant about your fucking golf swing, and that's not even what you were talking about. That's how big of a douchebag I am. He's like, stop talking shit, bro. I'm not even talking about my golf swing. See, that felt really good. That would not have done that in real life. That was such a good swing. Okay. PVC says I'm not in trouble for going off on a rant. All right, guys, we hit a decent drive, but we're up on a weird hill here. What I want to do is try to get within like pitching wedge distance of the green, but let's just hit something over here. Oh shit, out of the frying pan and into the fire it looks like. Now we've got to do whatever stupid fucking calculations we got to do to hit out of the rough. Let's just hit a pitching wedge here. Worst case scenario, we're below the hole or above it. I can't tell what the contour of the green is. Or to the right. Bounce left. Okay, that wasn't a bad shot. That'd have been a really good shot actually if it wasn't so far right. It's almost like my mind just was like, don't hit in the water, and sabotaged my shot. This is a downhill breaker from right to left, like 30 feet. Might be short. Don't make me putt again. This green feels weird. It feels weird. It's 11 stimp. We've got a weird little par 4 here that is, I guess if you want to get as close as you can, you try to drive the green, which is some professional level golf, obviously. I'd like to be about pitching wedge out, so let's hit 175, 170, 170 something, which is going to be roughly a 6-iron. Again, leaking to the right. And I think it's too far. No, it might be right on the fucking money there. That's a pitching wedge out. Tailwind. All right, there's something else to the right, probably right in the bunker. I don't know why everything's going right. Don't care. It doesn't do that outside. I can't get too fucking upset about it. Not bad. Shit that you do in the simulator, you would never, as an amateur golfer, you would never dare to do in real life. A full swing flop shot? No, man. I'd be too afraid of that ball getting bladed. All right, fucking calm down. What did I miss there? What do we got going on here? What is going on here? That was a major mental error there. Let's see here. What the fuck is going on here? Guys, this is GS Pro's physics failing miserably. We're here to get repetitions though, and that's it. It's just shit you don't see happen on the real golf course. Like, this swing produces this type of ball flight. I guess we're okay with it's mostly accurate. 215. It's mostly good. It generally gets the job done. Right? I think with a lot of shit that we're generally okay with mediocrity. And there's some folks that are trying to make a living doing sim golf shit. Some of them are good at it, some of them are not. But when GS Pro is potentially your cash cow, I don't care if I'm ever monetized, so I'll talk shit all day long about the software. There's a 1 iron to the right. I'm guessing nobody's surprised. Maybe it's me, maybe it's not. Maybe I'm getting tired. Maybe I don't give a fuck. 142. PVC says, what kind of balls do you use on the course? Dude, here's one of many buckets of balls I have. Can you see this? These are just from the last season. So there's some good shit in here, but it's getting to the point where I don't have to buy golf balls anymore. I don't lose many and I find lots of them. But I try to stick, like if I find a Pro V1 out on the course or I fish one out of the water, I'll start using that Pro V1. But like today I pulled a couple of Kirkland signatures out. And so I played Kirkland signatures today. I think yesterday at Hubbard I played Pro Vs. But I got 5-gallon buckets full of golf balls. About the only thing I won't use, brother, are these super soft balls. These TaylorMade, these really soft ones. I don't like them. And they're not good in the simulator either because the print rubs off on the screen. So to answer your question, I just use whatever the fuck I have in my bag. Sometimes they're, like I won't use a cracked ball, but if it's got a little bit of a scuff on it or something, I don't really care. I'm not good enough at golf to say I'm only a Pro V guy or I'm only a TaylorMade guy. That's just, I'm not good enough yet. Let's hit a 7-iron here. Okay, PVC says he mostly used super soft. There's nothing wrong with it. I just don't like how they perform. I'm certainly not talking shit, my friend. I just don't like how they perform. Did I choose the wrong club? Okay, so that was a hot shot. The 7-iron is not supposed to carry 158. It happens. It happens out on the golf course sometimes too. Sometimes you're like, this is my 150 club, and it ends up going 160 or 165. It's part of the game. I don't know how much money you got to spend on a set of irons to not have hot shots, but I haven't found an iron yet that didn't occasionally have a hot shot or a ball that went way further than it was supposed to. And I'm not talking about from thinning it, because if you thin it or skull it, it's always going to go further than it's supposed to. I'm talking about just a shot so pure that it goes further than it's supposed to. Anyway, I think we've talked about that to death at this point, so let me get a drink of water. What super softs do you use? Because I used to use these, I found one today. I used to use these Callaway super softs. They were like my favorite ball, and they're high visibility, so they're easy to find. That's what I used to use. Okay, PVC says the super softs have less spin, so that can help with a slice or a hook. You guys basically just need, what I would say is golf enough so that you know what you're looking for. This gal's name is Grace. She's wearing a skimpy lace top. Maybe that gets her more clicks, I don't know. She's got 1,000 likes on this. She says, how do I explain to the guys at school that the reason I'm still a virgin isn't about my Christian beliefs or creed streaks? What the fuck is a creed streak? Is that like when the lead singer of Creed doesn't wipe well enough and gets a streak in his fucking tighty-whities? What's a fucking creed streak? Jesus. People are just making shit up at this point. Fucking skibbity riz. So it's being a virgin's not about her Christian beliefs or creed streaks, but because I'm scared to lose her virginity to a guy who would talk about it to his friends and spread nasty rumors. You look like you're maybe in your late teens or early 20s. I'd say if you're still a virgin, just wait till you're married. You've already gone fucking 2 decades. Like, why don't you just wait till you're married and then your husband, because she says she's got creed streaks and she's Christian. Why don't you just wait till you're married? And then if your husband spreads nasty rumors and talks to his friends about you, it's fine because you'll be his wife at that point. And guys, I'm certainly not pushing marriage before sex or anything like that. I'm by and large not very religious at all. I'm just saying, you already waited that long. Maybe wait till you're married and then you won't have to worry about rumors and shit like that. There you go. You guys are all righteous and pure now. Hopefully you all went to church today. I was at the golf course. So let's blast something up in this general area of where this kind of does a little S-curve and just see where the chips fall. Go! Go! Okay, PVC says he uses the PVC. God damn it. He says he uses the Callaway Super Soft. Do you use the high vis ones, or are they all high vis? Because I know I've seen like green, pink, red, orange. So you've got most of the colors of the rainbow covered there. Guys, let's just go for the green on this par 5. It's only 170 yards, which I'm obviously going to need to give it some extra juice because we're in the goddamn rough. But if I want to hit some extra juice out of the rough, that would be a 5-iron. And let's just see what happens. Bunker. Okay, guys, that wasn't a bad shot. It went left, as indicated by the lie. And PVC says amen. Are you saying amen to that young gal waiting until she's married? And I'm not even into that shit, dude. I'm not religious, but if you waited that long, just snag yourself a little husband. He'll be glad you're a virgin, because there ain't a lot of them left. Especially with this hookup culture bullshit. Which I also see a lot of TikToks about. Like women asking why how many dudes they've had sex with matters to men. I don't know why. It's baked into my DNA. Women act like dudes are consciously making all these decisions. No, we're not that smart. We're not that smart. Okay, PVC says he uses the Callaway Super Soft, but it's the white cover. You know what, dude? I'm not sure I've... Okay, so here's a Callaway Super Fast. I could dig in here and probably find something. What's this one? Callaway Super Soft. Okay, I found one. So this guy, Callaway, is that too close? Not close enough. Callaway Super Soft. So dude, I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't even know that existed. I thought all the Super Softs were the high-vis like neon balls, so that just goes to show how out of the loop this guy is. All right, we need to hit like 120 yards. Let's go 9-iron. I don't think a pitching wedge is gonna get us there. I mean, this fucking 9-iron may not even get us there. Of course it's going right. Come on, baby. Bounce left. Fuck no, it bounced. Uh-oh. Oh, come on. Oh, guys, this is a prime reason why if you're in the simulator, you should check the heat map on the green. Or the topography or whatever the fuck it calls it. This could have been easily avoided if I would have checked the heat map. But I didn't. Because I'm stupid. I'm impatient. Get in the hole. All right. There's your little par saver. Everybody's super proud. How many TikToks do we have left? We have a few holes left. Well, we got 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 7 holes left. And we got a bunch of TikToks left. We should be fine. So let's look at another one right now. What time is it? Okay, it's 3:30 Mountain Time. We're not doing too bad. All right. What do we got here? This is Dreamy Soul 02. I think it is an African American female or somebody with a really bad fake tan. Women file for divorce more often. Okay, we've heard this shit a million times because they're still doing the majority of the housework, childcare, and emotional labor while also working full-time jobs. When they realize marriage is making their lives harder instead of better, they leave. I have a question here, and maybe I'm off my fucking rocker, but why would divorcing your spouse reduce your housework, your childcare? Maybe it'll reduce your emotional labor. And how would that make it so you didn't need to work a full-time job? Like, what would the difference be? Unless you're in a really abusive marriage or something, you're still going to do all of this stuff when you're divorced. So I think this person saying that women filed for divorce because of these things is incredibly inaccurate and stupid. And I'm guessing she's very stupid. Because you're still going to have to do most of this stuff even when you're divorced. There'll actually be more work to do because you don't have the two spouses sharing the workload. So that doesn't really make any sense. But it's TikTok, so really, what do you expect? It's going to be bad no matter what. All right, let's play this hole here. 309-yard par 4. The trees are kind of keeping you from trying to drive the green. So let's just play the hole the way it was meant to be played. Try to leave ourselves like a pitching wedge in. We kind of need to hit like a 200-yard shot here, which I'm not sure which of my irons that would be. I'm thinking either 4 or 3 iron. So let's hit a 3 iron. Started off left. We might be all right. And we should be about a pitching wedge in, but it would have been even better if we were on the fairway. We might be able to get a pitching wedge on the green, but it might not be by the pin. I think we're better off hitting maybe a choked 9 iron here. Little too much club. I needed, don't do that. Don't do that, you motherfucker. That was too much club. I needed to choke down. I choked down an inch. I probably needed to choke down more. I don't actually know how much an inch takes off of the swing speed, but we hit 72 miles an hour of swing speed, choked down an inch. So you'd obviously have to do some calculations, and you'd have to spend some time on the driving range. Oh, almost a par saver. Maybe we can sink the putt. Okay, PVC says that's the ball he plays. So, dude, I've actually been using, I thought they were all super fasts. So I've probably gamed those balls and not even known it. I just thought they were all the high-vis ones, so that just shows how far up my ass my head is shoved. Hole 14. Let's try to get to the end of this fairway. Tell you what, let's do one better and just launch driver, and then just know that we're probably playing out of the rough. And playing out of the first cut of rough in real life is not much different than playing off the fairway. But for some reason, GS Pro makes it seem like you just committed a fucking crime. Okay, there's your little leaker through a tree. We should be fine. Pitching wedge will get us there out of the rough. PVC says they feel like marshmallows. Okay, there's the super fast. Where'd the super soft go? Did I put it in my pocket? Dude, I'll bet you I can't even tell the difference. Super fast. How many super fasts are in here, for fuck's sake? Where did I set it? Is this it? That's a TaylorMade. Is this it right here? Ah, Callaway. All right, I don't want to spend too much time rifling through this bag of balls. Did I set it up here? I don't know where it went, dude. I was gonna hit it a couple times. See, that one went left. Can't fucking win for losing. PVC says all golf balls feel like rocks after he uses the super soft, the Callaway super soft. Yeah, I totally get you there, dude. After I went away from the MAXFLIs, everything felt like a marshmallow. So I get it. All right, guys, this is just leaking left or right. All we're gonna do is aim to the left. We're gonna aim to the left and just pray for good things to happen, because you're not making this putt. Shit, I'm not even in the circle. That should go in the hole with a little bit of pace. We're +4. I don't love it, but let's see. Oh yeah, you got these fucking dudes. This dude's 18 under par over 18 holes. Unless I missed something and this is a multiple round league, which I don't think it is. That's fucking crazy. That's a birdie on every hole, even the par threes, which are incredibly difficult to birdie. That's fucking crazy. I'd like to see that scorecard, because maybe he got a few pars and a couple of eagles, which is still absolutely out of the question. That shit just doesn't happen. Oh, Jesus Christ. Guys, I see the word manosphere here. I'm not very familiar with it. My wife told me sort of what it is, but apparently it's like a bunch of V-shred type of dudes that like suck and hate women or something. But this lady's name is It's Ziggy Stardust. I don't think you are Ziggy Stardust. All right, here's this wall of text. She's got a booger in her nose and she's got way too much eye makeup on. Okay, here we go. The Manosphere documentary made it so clear how uneducated the men of today really are. Not the men, some men, okay? Quit being a twat. They blame all man-made problems on feminism. Probably factual. The blaming, not the actual cause of the problem. The problems men created through rigid systems that force them to conform to standards men set is because of two things: capitalism, patriarchy, not feminism. So guys, this is a wall of text. I don't even remember what I read in the beginning. Something about the manosphere. And no offense, but if you followed financial advice from a man named H.S. Tiki-Taki, you deserve to lose money. starting to wonder why I captured this. I don't know what the manosphere is. I have heard stuff about it. So apparently some men are in this manosphere. I don't know what it is, so I can't talk shit on it. I can't judge it. So let's go to another TikTok that's not so like loaded with shit I don't know anything about. Okay, this one's just funny. Guy's name's Tyler. He's got his cute little dog with him. He says he'll never understand why people don't remove the dealership decals. And this is a Porsche. This is on a Porsche. So we got the CarMax decal on this Porsche. I also don't understand why people do that. I don't understand why they leave the dealership license plate cover on there. I don't get it. Like, they didn't do you any fucking favors. Stop advertising for them. I agree with that one. And it's not just because it's a dude, okay? I'm not that huge of a misogynist. I'd like to think that I'm not one at all, but apparently all men are terrible or something. I don't fucking know. PVC says 18 under par is crazy. Yeah, dude, that's like a career round for a professional golfer. And like I said in the beginning of the stream, I don't even know if a professional golfer's ever shot an 18 under. I sure as shit am not shooting an 18 under. But on Facebook, on the SGT Facebook, you'll see these guys saying that the guy's going 18 under, cheating and shit. And maybe they are cheating. I don't know how you do it because I've never looked into it. But maybe it's like an aimbot or a wall hack in Call of Duty or something. I don't fucking know. PVC says the first thing he does is remove the fucking advertisements for the car dealership when he gets a new car. You, sir, are smart, and that's why you do those things. Some people probably don't care. I'm guessing that's the majority of it, because I don't think people would willingly advertise for a car dealership that probably just raked your fucking ass across the coals. I remember a couple of years ago when we bought a... We bought my wife's half-brother a car, but we bought it with cash. And the dealership, you could tell, was expecting us to use their financing, and we're like, no, we'll pay cash. It was like $12,000 or something, so we just so that there was no fucking interest or anything, we paid cash. And once they found out we were paying cash, the car went from... No, the car was originally like $10,500. And when they found out we were paying cash, suddenly the new total was like $12,000. And I was like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. And I guess it's some fee they charge so they can still get their pound of flesh that they would have normally gotten from pulling interest off of you for 6 years or 5 years or whatever. But those guys are fucking crooks, dude. 175 down, so I need to hit like 160 something. Let's just hit a 6-iron here. That wasn't a bad shot. It's fucking going right. Don't ask me. Good bounce. It's crazy watching all your shots go straight on the golf course and then watching them do weird shit in the simulator. I'm not going to pretend to understand it. But Joe Legowski is pointing out some errors in the ProTee club data, which might contribute to it. I'd have to watch his video again to find out. That was a bad putt. That was for fucking eagle, dude. That putt was for eagle. I need to pay attention to what I'm doing. God damn it. God, dude, that was a short putt for eagle. Stupid son of a bitch. Uh-oh, there's a lot of water here. Uh-oh. Who's blowing my goddamn phone up here? All right, guys, so we got water on the right and inner OB on the left. I think the driver's doing well enough to stay out of the water, but I'm just gonna aim toward, like slightly toward the OB, because we're usually nursing, excuse me, we're usually nursing a bit of a leaky fade. And if we do go in the water, it's basically gonna bring us back to the tee box because we'll have entered the hazard at the bottom. Well, no, let's see what it does if I go in the water. I'm actually interested to see where the drop is if hopefully I don't, but if we go in the water. Nope. That thing just died, dude. That's kind of another... I realized that wasn't a great shot, but that's kind of another thing I don't see the golf ball do on the real golf course. So I think whatever the launch monitor's seeing, it doesn't know how to calculate it or something. Anyway, it's my fault. It's not the launch monitor's fault, but I don't think sometimes it knows how to calculate certain shots. I'm the one swinging the club, don't get me wrong. And I'd say this technology's pretty mature. I'd say it's just gonna be like massaging it more and more and more to make it even better. Oh, that's so lame. So now we're hitting out of a downhill lie out of the rough, and we're hitting potentially toward water, which means I need to aim clear over here. Let's hit a 9-iron clear over here and see where it ends up. That was a really bad shot. It was highly towy. Go, go, go. So guys, we're turning this hole that should have been pretty routine into probably a double bogey. It was a bunch of bad shots back to back to back, which is exactly what's gonna buy you a bogey, double bogey, you know? Can't be making a bunch of mistakes on the same hole and expect anything different. Oh, that's so fun. I love when that happens. I love when the ball fucking dies in the fairway like that. It's one of my favorite things. Would that have happened outside? I don't know. All right, that's got to be a double. God damn it. All right, we're getting close to the end. Let's check out another TikTok. Let's check out some more brain rot. What is the manosphere? I'm going to have to do some research on that. I'm not tracking it. I can't believe that there's something called the manosphere and nothing called the womanosphere, though, right? That's got to be a thing. It can't just be the manosphere. Is there a womanosphere? All right, now I just sound stupid. All right, what's this young lady got to say? Her name is Lauren Martin. Did we already see one from her? I'm pretty sure we did. Obligatory nose hoop. Probably some filtering going on, but what has she got to say? She says, expecting a man to process emotions the way a woman does is toxic. Okay. Someone's fucking finally speaking common sense here. Men don't trust feelings, they trust facts. Stop asking him how he feels and ask him what he thinks instead. Didn't she say something really smart a few TikToks ago too? She probably had a present father and that's why she's not bashing the fuck out of men. Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, Her Excellency Mona Lisa is the name of this gal. Okay. Women, if men disappeared for 1 week, let me stop you there. If men disappeared for 1 week, you would be fucked. The power grid would fail. You would have nothing to eat. It would be fucking chaos. But let's find out what she's saying anyway. If men disappeared for 1 week, we could walk alone at 3 a.m., wear anything at all, leave our drinks unattended, travel anywhere, and actually feel free. Men, but who would protect you? Women, protect us from who? Dun dun dun. How fucking stupid do you have to be to think that if men disappeared completely, or if women disappeared completely for 1 week, that shit would be okay? Like nothing would change. Men disappeared for 1 week and you just go about your routine like normal and nothing would fucking change? Like, what kind of fucking retard do you have to be to think that this wouldn't cause some like immediate effects? Right? Who's gonna be working on the oil rigs and who's gonna be doing the shit that Mick does where he's in a fucking mine all the time? Like that, women aren't doing those jobs. Like, the majority of truck drivers are men. The majority of the military is men. You just think that all men disappear from the planet and fucking things are just going to be peachy keen? Maybe for fucking 30 minutes while you were trying to figure out what the fuck was going on, but after that it'd be goddamn utter chaos. I can't believe that people are this stupid. Are people that stupid? Or are they trying to get clicks? Guys, I don't know. That's not for me to decide, but god damn, that was a stupid thing to say. Okay, we've got a little 100-yard hole here. What I'm going to do is hit a 9-iron so that I guarantee I'm not short, and then we can hopefully get a par or a bogey out of here. I don't understand why you think that that would be okay. And I'm not just saying this because I am a man, but the majority of the shitty jobs being done out there are being done by men. The jobs that women don't want to do or refuse to do, okay? Shit would get ugly real quick. I wish they could do some sort of a simulation. I'm sure there is. I'm sure there already is. Some sort of a simulation that was like, if every man just suddenly disappeared off the earth, like fucking Rapture style, like what would happen? I think it would be quite eye-opening. Okay, that was too much club. That's probably on the back of the green. And it ain't gonna roll because it's in the rough. But what's important is we're not wet. I'll bet that I would have taken fewer strokes if we had gone in the water, though, because we're a mile past the pin here. We've got a downhill lie going to a downhill target, so nothing good is going to happen here. I guarantee it. Okay, so there's shot number 2. We can probably get over to the hole for a bogey here, I think, because this putt's going to be for par. It's a double breaker. I'm just going to leave it in the hole. Okay, there's your bogey. So we probably would have taken a bogey if the ball was in the water or we missed the green by 30 yards like we just did. 18th hole. I'm just going to hit up on this side of this hill. And hopefully we don't hit another fucking snap hook thing. And we'll see where we're at when the dust settles. If all men suddenly disappeared, what would happen? I think any smart person knows that shit would go south pretty quick. The majority of airline pilots are men. Please don't go in the water. The majority of airline pilots are men. So all of those planes would fucking fall out of the sky and kill lots and lots of people. I don't know. That one is actually interesting to think about. It's utterly stupid, but it's kind of interesting to think about it. Okay, we're on our second shot here on 18. We got 136 out of the rough. I'm thinking 8 iron here. If it's properly struck, we'll be fine. If it's not, we will be in the water. So let's just make sure we properly strike the ball. That's fucking looking scary, guys. All right, self-fulfilling prophecy. It's going to give us a nice little drop spot here. I'm not mad at that. Let's get up to the pin here and get out of the round. End the live stream. But yeah, that was not a good strike, and we didn't get enough distance out of it. I think if we'd have got the distance the launch monitor's showing, we might have been okay, but we didn't. Oh, that was almost a good shot, guys. So we're either looking at a bogey or a double here, which means we're going to finish 5 or 6 over. Excuse me, 7, 5, 6, 7, 7 or 8 over, which is fine. Can't be hitting in the water, guys. Okay, we're 7 over, which is good. Not a bad round. Let's take a look at another couple of TikToks, and then I will leave you guys to your own devices on this fine Sunday afternoon. So PVC asked the opposite question: what if all the women disappeared for a week? I don't know, dude. I don't have the mental capacity to figure something like that out. I know it wouldn't be good, because my wife and my mom and my sister and my grandma, whom I love very much, would all disappear. That would be very sad. I will tell you from my point of view, I don't really depend on women for a lot of stuff. And that just happened naturally. It's not anything that I intended to do. So I would just kind of be wondering what the hell was going on, honestly. I'd be trying to figure out where my wife and my mom and my sister and my grandma went. I don't know, dude. The lady at the Maverick down here wouldn't be at the cash register to sell me my fucking gas station burritos, so that would be a non-starter. What else? I'd probably get sick of masturbating. I don't know, dude. I'm not trying to be a dick, but I don't depend on women for a lot of things. I would miss my wife very much, obviously. Okay, this one is from Queen of Her Pride. Some men say feminism is toxic. If you can say masculinity is toxic or the patriarchy is toxic, you could easily say that feminism is also toxic, because you don't want to be on one end of the spectrum or the other. You always want to fall somewhere in the middle. So they're both bad. Some men say feminism is toxic. Is there angry women? It's supposed to be Are There Angry Women, but we'll give you that one. You bet. You know what's missing though? Men asking why centuries of oppression doesn't disappear quietly. Healing starts with listening, not dismissing. Understanding fixes what silence breaks. So I guess this person is trying to extend the olive branch, which I appreciate. They're basically saying what I said there in the beginning, which is basically there's two sides to every story. Feminism is bad. The patriarchy in its worst forms is bad, etc., so forth and so on. There's no such thing as a free meal is what I'm saying. All right, let's see what this guy's saying. We've seen this guy before. I'm not gonna comment. Let's see what he says. He says he never heard my father complain about paying bills or asking his mother for her half of anything. Be a man, take care of your home and woman. Did we already use this one? Not sure. That was a failed capture. Public service announcement. If the entire plane has their windows closed, well, I would hope the entire plane had their windows closed, because if not, there would be some really bad shit going on that plane once it took off. She's obviously talking about the sunshade, because she's too fucking stupid to clarify. If the entire plane had their sunshade closed, don't be the person that keeps their sunshade open. I am begging you. Who gives a shit? Ash? And it says, bro, just give us all 30 million UV rays for no reason. You guys, the sun's got to be at a very specific position in the sky. And you've got to be at a very specific position in the plane for you to even get any UV rays from a fucking window of a plane. So hopefully Ash has died in a fucking fiery car wreck and is no longer poisoning our brains with this fucking junk. If a person wants to leave their shade open, they bought that seat, you bought the aisle seat or the middle seat, fucking get over it. If you want to make sure that your sunshade's not open, buy the window seat. I don't know what else to say. Just people are so stupid. It makes me sick. Okay? We don't have anything in the chat. We had a couple of decent rounds, made some mistakes, put some balls in some water, etc., so forth and so on. Guys, I really appreciate you joining me on the live stream. I think all we had in here was Mick and PVC, but I appreciate you. People are probably busy on Sunday and don't have time to watch me play shitty golf and look at crummy fucking TikToks. But with that being said, I'll let you guys go. Hopefully you have a good week. Do what you need to do to prepare for what you got going on tomorrow at work, and we'll see you in the next live stream. And I don't know when that's going to be. As it starts to get nicer and nicer weather here, guys, I have less and less desire to be in the simulator and turn on the live stream. So maybe watch some old shit or something if you just can't get enough of Turbo Talon Golf. But with that, I bid you adieu. I'll see you later. PVC says, great show. Glad I caught it. Cheers. You too, brother. Have fun. Go smack some golf balls around. And I'll see you guys in the next live stream. I don't know when that'll be, though. Might be tomorrow. It might be in 20 minutes. I don't fucking know.